Hello everyone and welcome back to Raspberry Rock, where I'm finally Russell, for at least today. Yeah, it's Saturday, day after Booksfest, and I just finished doing a several hour live stream on the Booksfest channel, just scenery here at the cabin, and I was barbecuing chicken and stuff like that, so I might do more of that stuff in the future. If you want to check out the Booksfest channel, you can look it up, it's in the description below. But yeah, right now I want to do something. I finally got my garden hoses. Well, they're not actually garden hoses, but I got my hoses for my garden. So I want to try sucking water right up from the pond and ejaculating it onto the garden without the intermediate step of pouring it into a barrel first. So this will be my first time trying it. I've got the hoses out back in the sun, trying to loosen them up. I'm gonna need some rocks to help me with this, but yes, let's do this thing. Let's see if it works. Forgot my 12-volt battery. So I thought I had the camera turned on. I guess I didn't. I'm trying out my new booster, but I can't figure out what's not working. Something's not working, and I don't know what. Or I don't know how to turn it on. I'm getting an exclamation mark here. Okay, I guess I gotta go back and get my other battery. Have to read the instructions on that. Okay, for some reason, this thing doesn't work when it's attached to that. I mean, it's on now. It works fine unless it's attached to the pump. Does that make any sense? No. I don't know. Okay, that's gonna work. I'm gonna move the camera up to the garden so you guys can watch what happens. Okay, hopefully the camera's not gonna get wet here. Yay, that'll do. That'll do. What? Perfect. Hey, potato! I see a potato plant. Do you see where I'm pointing? Ah. Oh, I'm so happy. That's gonna make life so much easier. Yay. I'm actually not gonna run it too long because it rained for several hours yesterday. The ground's still wet. But very happy. Hello, Junebug. Come on, Junebug. Yeah, the bugs are no fun these days. That's the first time we've taken a hike in a while, like over a month, just because of the bugs. And they don't really bother me much. I've got my bug net on, although they go after my hands sometimes. But they don't. Otherwise, they don't really bug me. And I could put bug spray on my hands if I really wanted to. But they bug the dogs a lot. I mean, there's a couple of times, especially up in the rocks where it's warmer, sunnier. The deer flies seem to come out more then. But there was like one time I just rubbed my hand down June Bug's back and I killed like 10 deer flies. And then I check her tummy too. She can't protect her tummy very well. But that's why, as I said, we haven't been going on a lot of hikes. But I really wanted to check what's on the trail cams, if anything. And I've been checking for ticks. I don't see any. I usually don't see any on that hike. Just out to the trail cams and back. I don't know what I'm going to do for the rest of today. I never plan ahead. Almost never plan ahead. But it's almost lunchtime, so we're going to look at that. And then I might get to work on that solar power video, that off-grid solar power system that Ray and I put together last week. Because that's going to be a good video. It's just going to be a lot of work. I've been procrastinating on getting to it, but I should get to that. And now that I've got my extra long hose hooked up so I can water the garden without worrying about the barrel, I haven't needed to use it. It's rained. It rained yesterday for hours. It rained a couple of days ago, today's Tuesday. It rained on Saturday, I guess, for a while. It's like the ground's all wet. Here I am, so proud of myself. Way to go, Russell. Like, just in time for rain. I know they were supposed to get a lot of rain this weekend too. But they always do this. They say, oh, lots of rain, inch of rain. And then as the day gets closer, it's like, oh, no, 3/4 of an inch of rain. Oh, no, half an inch of rain. And then it's the day of, and it's like, it might not rain at all. It did yesterday. It didn't rain as much as they said that it was going to rain. Anyway, I'm going to go in. It's nice here. There's no bugs. Good breeze. There's nothing on June Bug or Willow over there. Can you blame me for just wanting to hang out here? Yesterday afternoon, I should have filmed it. There's like 100 dragonflies just flying back and forth in front of the deck here. Love our dragonflies. On my way to Bancroft, Ontario, currently passing through Bannockburn. Yeah, story time, if you guys are interested. If you're not interested, you can skip this part. Back in 2009, Ray and I had just come off a long-term contracts with a company. We were kind of booting around looking for something to do, and the Ontario government put in a feed-in tariff program for solar power. So homeowners and commercial businesses could put solar panels on the roof or ground mount, and they could sell that electricity back to the government at a predetermined rate. So that's when we started up our solar power company. Now, right from the beginning, we made like some decisions about what kind of solar power systems we wanted to do, and we decided we wanted to only do quality systems, quality products, quality systems. And so our systems were a little bit more expensive than competitors, but it was my job to sell them. Anyway, I think I did a pretty good job.
part of the feed-in tariff program, there are rules around domestic content in your products, in the products that you could use for these systems, including solar panels, including charge controllers. Charge controllers? Well, I guess there wasn't really any charge controllers, was there? Anyway, so like dozens of solar panel companies started up in Ontario almost overnight, and we took a look around at them and said, well, when the feed-in tariff program ends, these companies are going to close up shop and they're going to disappear. But we found Sharp Electronics was also started up a little facility here in Ontario, and they started producing solar panels. Now, Sharp is, of course, a huge company. They make everything from appliances to computer monitors. I don't even know. So we said, well, here's a company that's not going to close up shop overnight when the feed-in tariff program ends. And by the way, they all closed up shop eventually. And not even when the feed-in tariff program ended, the World Trade Organization came along and said, what you're doing is illegal. You can't do this domestic content thing. And the Ontario government said, oh, yep, our bad. And they scrapped the rules. And so, of course, everybody started buying solar panels from China because you can't compete with anything coming out of China. Anyway, that's an aside. So when the feed-in tariff program ended, a lot of solar power companies in Ontario also closed up shop. All those companies that put in hundreds and hundreds, if not thousands of systems, all closed up and no longer support those systems that they installed. So Ray gets a lot of calls from like homeowners who are having problems with their system, but the people they bought it from no longer are around. So Ray goes out and fixes a lot of them. Which brings us to today. Well, let's say about a month ago, Ray did an insurance job. Some homeowner, the output of his solar power system was like way low, like it dropped to almost nothing from when it was originally installed. So Ray went out and looked at it and found out the solar panels were crap. They were micro cracking the silicon wafers. There was I don't know all what was wrong with them. Anyway, he went out and he replaced all the panels, and he kept all the ones he took off the roof, because not all of them were bad, even though all of them were showing signs of this, whatever was happening to them. Some of them still work. So that brings us actually to today. I'm going up to grab a bunch of them for small projects. I'm going to see if I can find some that still work. Two of them I'm going to set up for my neighbor, put a little solar power system in for him. That should be a fun little project. It's just like a cheap, he's got a power station, so really with a couple of panels and some wiring and a cheap charge controller, you can keep that thing charged a lot better than, say, running its generator. And then I'm going to have a few more solar panels just for projects I want to do, like aerators in the pond type thing. So that's why we're on our way to Bancroft. We're going to meet Ray. We're going to take a look at these panels. I brought my multimeter so we can test them. And I got to find a place to buy coffee. Coffee. It's 10:51. All right, let's come back to panels. I'm here at Ray's property, where he built all those houses and is now renting them out. And oddly enough, his property actually goes back fair ways here, but he can't build back here until he gets permission from the town. I'm not sure what the details are. They're holding back for some reason. But he's got all these trees here. I don't know what these are. Some softwood spruce, maybe? I don't know my trees very well. And like he can barely give them away. Like the trees that he's already cut down, you know, he's called up local mills and said, do you want to buy these? And they barely give him any money at all. So it's not even worth his time to try and sell them. And look at them. They're like 60 feet tall. They're big. They're straight. I look back here and think, oh, you could build one hell of a cabin back here with these. But, I mean, not that Ray has the time to do anything like that. He's building other houses in other places. But it's fascinating area. And also, there's like hundreds of feet of sand right below the topsoil here. He said when they started taking trees down here, so others just started falling because, you know, they're just in sand. But yeah, these big, beautiful, straight trees. I don't have anything like this on my property. I don't have any mature trees like in this kind of abundance. Anyway, trying to get Ray's attention here so we can get these panels. He's over doing grass seed. Side trip. It's actually raining a bit now. It wasn't supposed to rain till tonight. Anyway, we're on another property here. Guy who owns this property saw all Ray's houses and said, I want the exact same thing. And Ray said, Ray didn't really want to do it because he's so busy, but the guy insisted, and so Ray's building this house on his property. It's actually pretty cool. He's got a river just over there that you can't see. So they're packing up the forms, the concrete forms, to head to the next house that Ray's building. Well, we're back here. I totally forgot to take my GoPro to where we were picking up the panels, so I couldn't film. So I got them, and some beer. These all have micro cracking on them. We tested them there. You can see the micro cracking on that one. Pretty bad. Those cracks all the way along there. From the back, it looks like it's also cracking along the back plate there as well. But we did test all of these. Tested the voltage, tested the amperage going through them, and they seem fine for now. So we'll use them. They had several there that were really, really bad, that looked like they had shorted, like the silicone wafers had somehow shorted themselves out and looked awful on the back, almost like they'd cooked, and on the front they were horribly discolored. So I got 6 that seem to be working. That's City Girl here, and somebody else is coming. I wonder if that's... Anyway, I'm holding this up because I gotta carefully put this down. I don't know who that is. So, and my favorite person's here. Several days early. Oh, I'm so happy. She's here, and we're gonna Books Fest tonight.
Okay.
Aren't we?
Sure. Yeah. Surprise.
Surprise. Are you ready?
Yep.
Are you getting wet?
Yes.
Me too. We should go.
Got caterpillars like falling on my head.
And we got caterpillars falling on our heads, as well as rain drops and caterpillars and cats and dogs. All right, we're going. She just said, "Bring it." All right, bring it.
Okay. Yep. I listen to it. Yes.
No, Junebug.
Just stretch down so we're like closer to the same height. Anyway, it's Saturday. Sorry for getting this video late today, this week, because I wanted to get all that stuff in with that solar panel business, even though there wasn't a lot about it. It's just kind of my trip. Anyway, City Girl's here making breakfast. And, oh, that was hot. And we're about to have breakfast. And then I'm going to go do some other stuff with those panels. Probably get well, I'm going to do some other stuff with those panels. But I'll get some video of what we're doing with those anyway. Anyway, that's going to be it for this video. We'll see you next time. Peace out.